Okay, and so another point is I emphasize on this MRS, marginal rate of substitution, to emphasize on this point. Okay, here even though they are ex ante identical, right? Remember, everybody is the same here ex ante. When they sign the contract, everybody look the same. Okay, no different. But once they sign the contract, once the output realized, first the difference is output, right? I mean, everybody get different output. These two are not really real different. This is like numerical error. Okay, this and this and this and that. But the key is marginal rate of substitution of these three groups are totally different. I mean, this is 0.28, this is 1.1, this is 0.11. Okay? So they are different. That means they are crossed, right? So that means they want to retrade. If you allow them to do so, they're going to do it. Is that right? Because the marginal rate of substitution are different. So that's the point of retrading. Is that okay? So in that, because we assume that utility. If we assume partially separable, they're not going to get the same. They're going to get the same marginal rate of substitution. But that's what we want. Okay, we want them to have different marginal rate of substitution. Then we be sure that they're going to be externality, and then let's compute the one that's going to solve the externality. Let them choose the price island what they want. Okay, so here is maybe your computational part that I want to show you. I allow quite a few. I mean, and here I allow nine market, 9 prices that they can choose from. I mean, I can allow more, but it doesn't make big difference. Okay, but turn out they choose only one of them. Everybody choose the same price island in this example. Okay, it's going to be tough to understand given this one example. We have to look at the other one to see why it happened. But before that, let me point out that it's kind of excuse, but just want to be clear that we tell you everything. You see this is 0.3, right? 49.5. It's kind of, it happened in Cplex when I ran to S3. And thanks to Victor and TP who made it possible for me to run on it. I have to put this big number in so that the math is kind of go to the right place. If I drop this, the math go everywhere. But of course, and the expected outcome is kind of lower too. That's why I know that putting here is not really damaging anything. Okay, I don't know really. I mean, to be completely honest, we're not 100% sure that what's the reason of that. But our best explanation is that because if we stop here, it's kind of the problem is kind of try to go to the corner every time they want. I mean, every time we run it. And actually it's happened that they're going to try to put some mass here, which actually once we put there, they don't want to. Okay, and that's why we say that we put a big number here just to make sure that they're not going to get stuck in the corner. I mean, I don't know what's your reaction to that. This kind of linear programming. But it's about grading it, okay? But the point here is they have only one island. Everybody choose to go to the same, even though they can choose differently, right? My point is they can choose to go here, they can choose to go here, or here, or here, or here. They choose only here, okay? The price make them to do so. It's the price for these islands.
You only have 3 agents?
Oh no, I have one X and continuum of X ante identical agents. When I say 3 here, I just want to emphasize that this is ex post type. So it's like after you assign the contract. Because remember, the output itself is kind of random. Ex post, they're going to look different for sure because they get different output. That's it. They have tons of people, but all of them ex ante, they are the same. Ex post, they turn out to be only 3 types. That's what I mean. Okay? I mean, 3 types actually come from the Robert Townsend before. I called them 3 types because you see, they have 3 different marginal rate of substitution. They get different allocations. One is kind of taking low action, the other one take high action, but if they are unlucky, they get lower consumption. Yes, that's because of incentive. Okay? So the low action guy is kind of completely insured, but doesn't get much.
So you could potentially create 4 types if you play with the parameters or with the grids.
Let me see. Possible, I think. I mean, I don't see any theorem to say Oh, well, yeah, depend on the grade of action. So here there are 3 types because usually the guy who take low action is going to be completely insured. So it doesn't depend on the output. So that's why they come in the same type. But you're not going to be able to completely insure high type. So that's why you have 2 type of high action guy. That's what I mean. Okay. But if you have more A, maybe you could have more types.